Hi everybody, it's Dana LaVoie here, and I am really excited to be here with you today live on Facebook. I hope you're excited about it too. I'm an acupuncturist and herbalist and women's wellness guide who helps women. I am passionate about helping women, helping every woman out there know how to balance their hormones naturally, especially during menopause, using simple things like diet, lifestyle, herbs, and supplements. And over the past few weeks, I wrote a series of articles, 4 articles, on how to lose weight, especially during menopause. And there was so much I wanted to put in there. A lot of it got in, but some of it didn't. And so I thought today I would take you back into the articles and go more in depth on some of the stuff in there. There was one point especially that I wanted to talk to you about today. And so if you're just joining me live, please say hi. Let me know in the comments who you are and where you're tuning in from. I'm just going to check on Facebook and make sure that we are broadcasting. And I really hope everything sounds good and looks good. Just checking my tech stuff here for a minute. And in the meantime, if you could just quickly, if you're having a good time, hit the share button, let your friends know what we're doing, and give me a couple of likes, and so everything will be like totally awesome. So in the series of articles that I wrote about weight loss during menopause. Sorry, I'm still a little distracted with my technical stuff here, but I'm going to leave that for the moment and get back to you guys. So this series of articles is live on my blog. You'll see my website at the bottom of the screen, danalavoielac.com. Just go there, go to the blog, and you'll see this series of 4 articles that I wrote about losing weight during menopause. And in the 3rd article, I talk about the 12 elements that make up a diet that works. And number 9 is try an elimination diet. And my guess is that a lot of women, kind of read over that one and jump right to the next one because they either don't know what an elimination diet is or exactly how to do one, or they don't realize how humongous the potential benefits are. So again, I'm Dana LaVoie. I'm an acupuncturist and herbalist and women's wellness guide. I do online education and herbs with women who want to balance hormones naturally during menopause and beyond, because it's so easy and it works so well and it's so good for your body. That's what I am all about. So if that sounds good to you, stick around. I'm going to dive in now to talking about, this is number 9 out of my 12 elements that make up a diet that works, especially during menopause. And this is from number 3 in the 4-part series of articles I just published on how to lose weight during menopause. It's on my website. You'll see that below. So I said, try an elimination diet. And I'm thinking that a lot of women don't know what that is or why they should try it. And it is honestly, I'm just going to come right out and say it, it is not the easiest thing in the world to do. I know because I have done it. And honestly, it was hard, but it was also one of the most valuable things I ever did for my health. No question about it. So what it has the potential to do is help you identify the foods that you are sensitive to. And you might not know you have food sensitivities. You might not have full-on food allergies or anything that would show up on a blood test. And yet you can have food sensitivities that are causing significant symptoms. I know so many women who have gotten incredible relief, like 95% relief from pain, aches and pains, like that they thought was just arthritis, insomnia, heart palpitations, weight gain, bloating, depression, all of these kinds of things can be relieved by eliminating a food that you're sensitive to. So the benefits are potentially huge. And all you have to do is do an elimination diet to figure out if this is one of the things that's going on for you. So I want to tell you exactly how to do an elimination diet, or at least one version of an elimination diet. This is the one that I love. I learned it when I was getting my master's in acupuncture. I learned this from Joe Coletto, and he is just one of the smartest guys I have ever known and the most knowledgeable. He's a naturopath, he's an acupuncturist, and an incredible teacher. So thanks, Joe. I still use this tip today. So if you are interested in doing an elimination diet, here's what you need to do. You are going to, for 14 days, eat only foods that are the least allergic foods, the ones that the least number of people are sensitive or allergic to. During the 14 days, you can eat as much as you want. You can eat as often as you want, but you can only eat these foods. And so these foods are what I'm going to call your base diet. And these foods include rice, turkey, lamb, pears, blueberries, all vegetables except nightshades. So no potatoes, tomatoes, eggplants, right? Peppers, anything like that. So no nightshades, but you can eat all other vegetables. And you can cook with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of salt. No other herbs or spices. And that's it. So it's hard, it's limited, but it's just for 14 days, though I will say you do have to do the full 14 days. The first time I did this elimination diet, I only made it 10 days on the base diet, and I didn't get any clear results. It was a total wash. The second time I did it, I did the full 14 days, and the results were crystal clear. So tell your friends and loved ones what you're going to be doing, that you might need their support, that you might be like a little short-tempered, and then do the full 14 days on those foods. At the end of 14 days, if you do not feel any better, we're talking not feeling better at all, not a single symptom has gotten better, then you probably don't have food allergies or sensitivities, and you can just stop, because you're probably not going to get benefit from this exercise. But if anything has gotten better, then you definitely want to proceed with the next step. So what you do next is you start testing foods, and you test one food every 3 days. And I just want to say here too, before you make any big dietary changes, it's always a good idea to check with your doctor. So please use common sense. If you have medical conditions, if you are on sensitive medications, be careful making dietary changes. That being said, this is relatively safe. So when you're ready to start reintroducing foods, what you do is you pick a food and you take 3 days to test each food. So say I want to test almonds because I really miss almonds. So on day 1 of the 3-day test period, which would be day 15 of this whole elimination diet, I'm going to eat a whole bunch of almonds for breakfast or with my breakfast, and a whole bunch of almonds for lunch. And then I'm going to stop eating almonds, and I'm going to go back to my base diet for dinner on that day and for the next 2 days. So that's how you do a 3-day test period. You take a food, you eat it for breakfast and lunch, a good amount of it on day 1, and then you stop eating it and go back to your base diet for the rest of day 1 and day 2 and day 3. Now, if by the end of day 3 you have not had any symptoms come back, then you are not sensitive to that food. And starting on day 4, right, that food can become a part of your base diet, and you can eat it whenever you want, along with the turkey and the lamb and the pears and the blueberries and the non-nightshade vegetables and the rice and the salt and the olive oil. And then you would start another 3-day test period where you would do the same thing with another food. So one thing that's important when you're testing a food is to eat it in a pure form. So if you were testing like dairy, you would want to have milk or yogurt. You wouldn't want to have, yogurt that also had nuts and sugar and strawberries in it, right? You would want to have the food in a pure form to test if you're sensitive to it. I think that's common sense, but it's worth mentioning. And you want to make sure that you test all the most common allergens, which would include, I want to make sure I get them all here, so dairy, soy, wheat, nuts, and you do have to test nuts, each nut on its own, like peanuts is one test, almonds is another test, that kind of thing. Fish, shellfish, citrus, and eggs would be some of the most common foods. So make sure you test those, and make sure you test the other foods that you like to eat really regularly. Things that you eat like once a year, maybe they're not so important. And so do this for as long as you can. Get as many results as you can. come and ask me questions here below this post if you have them, and plus let me know what you found out and what kind of a difference it made. I'd love to hear about your experience with the elimination diet. And that is really the basics of it. I will say that you should drink plenty of clean, fresh water while you're on the elimination diet. That's going to help because you could definitely be doing a little bit of detoxification, and your body could be getting rid of inflammation and things like that, and it helps to be well hydrated. But I really hope that you'll think about taking the time to do this as a part of like losing weight more easily and also helping to balance your hormones, because this definitely affects inflammation and hormones in general in your body, and it can really help get a big stumbling block out of the way of your body functioning more easily. So I'm Dana LaVoie. I'm an acupuncturist and herbalist specializing in women's health, helping women to balance their hormones naturally, especially during menopause. And I would love to hear, how many of you have tried an elimination diet? What was your experience with it? Did you get good results? Do you have any questions? And how's it going with your weight loss for menopause? Did you find anything else in the 4 articles that I wrote that was helpful? The first article is the 7 ways that diets fail during menopause. And then the second one is how to have diet be a lifestyle, right? Not really like a diet, because it's so much more sustainable. And then in article number 3, I talk about the 12 elements that make up a diet that works. And so that's where today's tip came from. One of those 12 is try an elimination diet. So I wanted to jump in here and give you more information about how to do that. And in the 4th article in the series, I got 6 different experts to come in and give me their number 1 tip for weight loss during menopause. And I got responses from incredible women who had incredible advice to offer. Like JJ Virgin even chimed in and said, do this and this, and the weight loss will follow. So to find out what she recommends that you should do so that the weight loss will just naturally follow, definitely check out the 4th article in the series on my blog. My website is right at the bottom of this page, and I'll post links in the comments too. So this is something that, I'm really into finding ways to lose weight that don't feel like a diet, that don't feel like deprivation, that don't feel like, oh, I'm on a diet, I have to be so strict. And that's why I like the elimination diet, because if you find, say, one food that you're allergic to, and most of the time you can stay away from that one food, it means you can eat everything else so much more freely. And because you're not having that reaction that creates inflammation, that creates water retention, that affects your metabolism, you're going to lose weight so much more easily. Now, if you do the elimination diet and you find that you have multiple food sensitivities, right? They're all over the place. Then I would recommend working on the health of your gut, your intestines, making sure you have enough enzymes and probiotics, and also working with someone to help strengthen and re-regulate your immune system, because I'm definitely not about, avoiding foods in general. Sometimes it's necessary to calm things down, but if you're really healthy, you're going to tolerate a wide variety of foods really well. So if you're getting backed into a corner where you feel like you're sensitive to everything, do the elimination diet. If you find 1 or 2 things you're sensitive to, great, because now you can eat everything else. If you find multiple foods that you're sensitive to, we can talk more, but there's probably something going on with, the health of your intestines or your immune system needing a little help being better regulated in general. And so my last thing that I wanted to say is anytime I'm talking about diet, I like to say that if we have conversations about diet, I want you to end up losing the weight you want to lose, but I also want to end up with you not thinking of diet as this thing that you go on and off of to lose weight. I'd much rather that you think of diet as the way that you eat nourishing whole foods to give your body the building blocks it needs to achieve radiant health. To me, that's what diet is. It's one of the foundations of good health, where you find all this amazing variety of whole foods and micronutrients, healthy fats, things that give you the building blocks that your body needs to just be incredibly healthy. And part of that is your body finding its, healthiest weight naturally. So I'm going to stick that little seed in the back of your mind to start to grow. The diet is how you nurture yourself in the best possible way. It's not just a thing that you go on and off of when you want to lose 10 pounds. So sleep on that and see if it starts to take root and grow and, sprout little thought patterns in your head. And in the meantime, like I said, share and like this video. Check out the series of blog articles and contact me if you have any questions. If you want to have a conversation, I have a Facebook group called Menopause Basics. You can find it at menopausebasicsgroup.com or from my Facebook page. Just at the top of this page, you can just it says click to join the group. And I am in there answering questions all the time. We have some great discussions in there. So if you want more of this kind of information, definitely join me inside of the group. And I'm going to be popping back live to dive in depth on some of the other, diet recommendations that I had in this series of articles. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments and I will answer those in a future live video. And then check back in a couple of months because I have some exciting things in the pipeline too. I've got a new series of articles I'm writing on why it's important to combine diet, lifestyle, and herbs together to get the maximum benefit for hormonal balancing, because I know a lot of women are curious about that. And I also have a really exciting program that I'm going to be launching soon where you can get like a custom chosen monthly combination of herbs delivered to your door to help in the most incredible way to boost your health and to balance hormones. So lots of stuff going on. Contact me if you have questions. I hope you are having a wonderful day, and let's talk more. Let's talk about what's working for you with diet and what's not, because if we figure it out the right way, it's going to get easier and easier to feel good and to lose weight and to stay that way long term, and that's what I want for you. So again, I'm Dana LaVoie, an acupuncturist and herbalist, founder of Menopause Basics, and I'm here to help you guys learn how to balance hormones naturally. So hit me up if you have questions. Definitely hit the share button on this video, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye for now.